My name is Kit. I'm the host, and thank you for joining us today, wherever you're tuning in from. Today, we'll be exploring and comparing two very powerful AI development tools, such as Google CLI and Claude Code. Our focus is on how each of these assistants perform when building smart contract on COTI's blockchain. We have with us here um, Calvin, Pan, Robert, Rafa, Davi, and of course, our leading presenter today, which is Upendra, who will be leading the session today, which walk us through the demos and comparison. Without any further ado, I'll leave the floor to Upendra. Let's get started.
Thank you, Kate, and thank you everyone for joining today. I can see there are so many co-hosts today, so I think everyone is so excited for this, tussle between Google CLI and Cloud Code, because I guess
Absolutely.
both of the tool looks similar. They both have terminal tools, and we need to know like who gonna be winning, like the Cloud or the Google.
Most
So
importantly, I think Google is free and Claude is paid. So I want to see how they perform.
yeah, right.
I know Calvin is, rooting for Google right now because it's free.
Yeah, yeah. Let's see. Or I want to see how Claude fares, especially if it's paid.
So let's move on to the setup. We already have done, but there are simple steps. Both of them can be set up using simple npm command. You just need to have Node installed in your device. Go and install Node. I think every developers have them, and you just need to run these simple command for the Cloud Code. You just need to run npm install Anthropic AI Cloud Code, and for the Gemini, you need to run Google Gemini CLI, and they're gonna be setting up the CLI in your device. Now, for both of them, you need to do the, you know, uh, for the Shine-in, they both have similar process. They're gonna give you the option if you want to use your APIs or you gonna use your Google account. If you select the Google account, I think most of the beginners are gonna be doing that, and you just select the Google account, and you uh, window pop up on the Chrome, and you need to click verification, and it's done. You are logged in your CLI. So these are really simple to do, and if I may show you how you can do that. So let's suppose it's a VS Code. I'm gonna be opening the terminal here only. You can run it simply by any terminal, but we're gonna be creating some files, and we need to check out what this file look like. So that's why I'm gonna be, opening the Gemini CLI here. I have this folder, created this folder named Gemini, and I'm gonna be typing Gemini here. It's just start running as because just because I already have sign in before. Otherwise, if you don't, you're gonna get this uh, the option similar looks which looks similarly like that in the starting, which gives you three options: login with Google, use Gemini API, or Vertex AI. So just select first one and go login with your browser, and it will start working similarly like it works in my system. It gives you simple option in the terminal where you can put any of your message. You already have seen this, but I'm just repeating if someone is joined new. Similarly, for the Claude, I have created another folder here. You can go and type Claude, and it will start working like that. In case if you are not, logged in, then you're gonna get the auth option here too, and you can easily go and log in here too with the browser. So both the terminal right now looks similar. Now how we can visibly make them different, I can show that in my presentation too. When it comes to see the differences between the, so Both of these terminal based, but talking about the Claude, they kind of have created the extension through which it looks like a cursor. If we open the Claude, let me just open the extension. They have a Claude extension named Claude Code for VS Code. You can go and install in your VS Code. And when you install it, like I already did, you get this option in your VS Code. This is a simple button which opens a terminal in the side, which similarly looks like the cursor, which kind of looks quite, user friendly. And it's simply running like this portion. This portion is comes here. It's on the terminal, but it quite a kind of look user friendly. And they have also a feature, in case, like I'm just mentioning the differences, in case you want to share images in the Gemini, you need to go give it the path, or you need to paste the image in this folder, and then in the Gemini you can go and give the path, or select through the by writing at the rate. In the Claude, they made it simpler. You can give the path here, or you can drag and drop any image. Like you have any image somewhere, and you need to, you can quickly come and drag and drop here. They will get the path by itself. This is a simple as that. Also, Claude have more, because Claude was launched way earlier than the CLI, Gemini CLI, and Gemini CLI is open source, and all the developers are pushing day by day, and they are launching the feature really quickly. They are, trying to
Hear me?
get as close to the Claude as possible, but still Claude is way have some more features. Will we talk that in the upcoming as we move around in the live stream. So that was a major difference if we check the interface. Also, if we talk about the extension, Gemini CLI also have extension. It's called Gemini CLI Companion. It kind of provide you the feature of check the difference within the code. Like it's not going to provide you a button like the Claude, or it's not going to move your terminal aside. It's just going to provide inbuilt feature with the files. Will be when we start coding, will I'm gonna show you. Like you can differentiate, like you have coded something, and now you made some change in your file, so you can check what changes has been made by the CLI. Uh, so that can be possible using this. That can only be possible using this extension. So Gemini CLI also provided the extension. They are also developing day by day, and you're gonna have. I think you're gonna have similar Claude-like feature in upcoming days. So moving around about more, if we call about differences. So if you talk about the learning curve, both of them have a hard learning curve because both of them are a terminal-based system. It's just like Claude has integrated with the Claude, with the code, so uh, it's kind of quite simpler. It looks quite simpler for the developer, so we can give a point greater for the Claude here. Talking about the LLM support, as we know, Claude Code provides you the best coding LLM till now, the Sonnet 4. And as we know, like Sonnet 4.5, I guess, also launched. So we have a better LLM for the coders, for the developers in the Claude. Talking about the Gemini CLI, they also provide you the Pro version, 2.5 Pro, which is the latest and the best version of Gemini. It's it's like kind of as similar to Claude, but as rated by the coder, they like Claude Sonnet 4 more. Talking about the best for, so both of them actually work similarly. So I kind of they are best for the complex task or core development task, but as we see we got to compare the models here. So Claude Code is a better model here. Sonnet 4 has a better LLM model. So I guess here, if we're talking about the complex task, more complex tasks, so Sonnet 4 gonna be doing it better. So we select Claude Code here. But if you talk about the context window, so what happens when your code increases and you need to, like, if you are building something using the AI tool, what you need to do and what you try to do, you kind of put all your code in a folder. Like there is gonna be backend, which has a separate folder. They're gonna be front end, which has a separate folder. But they're gonna be in a same folder. Lots of developers are trying to build like that, and uh, as developer are experimenting with that, they're gonna be finding different ways maybe to connect their code. But for now, if your LLM or your tool gonna have the understanding of the both code, they're gonna be helpful for them to integrate the front end with the back end. So in that case, your context gonna be increase a lot, very rapidly. So the tool which provides larger context window, which is Gemini CLI Pro, I think so, it has 1 million token. And Sonnet 4 has a 1 million token support, but on the Claude, uh, you get only 200K. If you go to the max mod in the Claude, which is, when we come to the pricing, I'll show how much they cost. But for the $20 version, for the pro version, you can go up to 20, 200K. So I think here the Gemini CLI works, or won. Talking about the code quality, as Sonnet 4, like both of them produce similar code, but Sonnet 4 has been trained for the development and it's kind of more trained for the development and a stronger model. So it's the code quality gonna be slightly better in the Sonnet 4 or Claude Code. If you talk about the integration, we already have seen like both of them being integrated on the talking about in the terminal very well, and kind of similar. They are regularly launching new functionality, how it can be more user friendly. So it's kind of tussle between development process going day by day. So but for now, if we see, they like integrated with the tool, which is for now we are using VS Code very similarly. But main thing we can see here, we can use it with any code editor, because they are just a terminal based tool. So they are integrated with the terminal very well. So it's gonna be working similarly with any uh, uh, code editor you're gonna be using. Now, the most important thing, if we talk about the cost, that's where the major change come. So you cannot use Cloud Code free. Even you can, they don't have free trial. You just need to take the subscription to even try it. And the basic model starts with $20 per month. It's kind of, they kind of launched this model now uh, to compete with the cursor. Before that, they have the API model. You just need to purchase the API and you need to pay the bill. So in that case, some developer have faced like $100 $200 bill. So now they kind of propose a plan in which they're gonna be have a limited plan. Developer gonna have to know, like they can use a month with $20, and then they have a max plans with $100 $200 with the API. But talking about the Gemini CLI, Google is playing really well here. It's kind of free for a developer with a personal account. You can log in with your Google account and you can use 60 requests per minute, which kind of huge. And for a day, you got the limit of 1K requests. I think that's more than enough. You want like whatever project you want to build, you can play as much as you can for a day. It's not going to be end. So it's quite almost free for the developer. So talking about the price point, Gemini get like a way higher point. It's just for the beginners kind of really helpful, because they don't know how to use their plan efficiently for now, because they just are exploring the AI tools. They are exploring how to write good prompts, which prompts like work better for which developer. So they are still trying to build their system still if they're trying to copy a system, but they need time and repetition to learn and be good with the tool. So I think Gemini CLI wins here. Now if we talk about some integration, how if we try to see how well these tools are integrated with the terminal, we can check here. Both of them, this tool provides you slash commands and at the rate command. So with the at the rate, you can just point out the file you want to mention in here, because our project currently don't have any file. It's a empty repo, so it's not mentioning any file. When we gonna be creating some code, it's gonna mentioning some file. But when we come to the slash command, Gemini have so many slash commands. As you say, you can see it has 1 out of 26, so like it has 26 slash command. So here is authentication command. If somehow want to authenticate with another account, you can do that. You can report the bug for the Gemini CLI. That's not most for the developer. So if you want to manage the conversation, like you have a long chat history, you want to do something that you can do with that.
I think there's some background noise.
Kit, is that you?
Yeah, I think
Sorry about that.
that was a nice music.
I thought.
Yeah, that was a
Sorry, I
nice
thought my
music.
mic was off. I've got texts. Sorry.
Okay. So I think like I discussed a lot. So user needed some break and Cat has given some break. So let's just start giving some prompt first, so that like we can build with that. So for giving the prompt, I need to soak some important features here. Like if we talk about the interface, how well they are integrated with this interface. So if we see the Claude, if we type shift tab, it kinds of move to the plan mode or editing mode. So there is a 3 mode in the Claude it provides. First is it has the agent which directly going to build whatever prompt you're gonna be giving. So it's kind of accept edit on. As you can see, you need to press shift plus tab, and then when you again press shift plus tab, you're gonna have a plain mode. So through this you can plan like it's kind of a chat mode. So you can chat in this terminal and explain what you need to build, and then you can have a plan from the AI. As well as in the middle, if you want to know what your code file says, you want to understand all the code files, you can ask in the middle with this plan mode. Otherwise, if you are in that if you are in the accept edit on or in the normal mode, which just you can see with a with a question mark sign, which is a normal or general mode, your agent gonna be start building. It cannot understand. You don't want any build right now. You don't want to edit code right now. You just want some answers from your code. For that, there is a plan mode. Okay. Otherwise, whenever you want to build something, you have this accept edit on, and it's going to be building on behalf of you. So this is also a kind of integration with the tool. If we talk about how Gemini do that, so Gemini, what they say, like uh, you gonna have chat mode or the plan mode once a while. They don't integrated any command for that or any keys with the keyboard with that. They kind of have given a documentation how you can do that. You can create your own commands, or you can create your own slash tools. So let me just share the documentation. Let me show how in the Gemini we can do that. So there's a documentation of Gemini CLIs custom slash command. So we can create, not with the plan, we can create any custom slash command we want. Like their developers are building day by day with user friendly commands, but if you want to integrate the create a slash command just for the git, you can create that. You can create any shortcut command, any command you think you use most. It's up to you. So it's kind of flexible. For the beginner it may look difficult, but for the developer who daily develop, they have a habit to do some things that way, they kind of can create, they're gonna be loving it. They can go easily create the slash command, and they kind of shown the exact way how you can create that. So they have given you this file. So if you go and select plan, search plan, so it kind of have given you how you can create that. You need to create .gemini folder, and in the Gemini folder you need to create a commands folder, and in that you can create this plan.toml. So what they also have given a simple command, you can do that and run it in your terminal, or you can just copy that and go and create a file. I think I didn't copy it all. Okay, no problem. We can go and build a, not there, here, long, my bad. Let's type. So it's a toml file, plan.toml. And what we need to do, we need to just copy paste it. And now let's just try to find out if we have this command or not. We don't have right now. Let's just try to close this and open another terminal.
So the custom command is basically a custom prompt. Is that right?
Yeah.
Okay. Like you can make a custom agent just for bug fixing.
Yeah, like it kind of helps the developer to quickly do something. Like if they know like they're gonna be using something on the regular basis, they can quickly do that.
Gotcha.
Let's just try to build it again.
So right now you're shaping it to become a senior blockchain developer to immediately build contracts with you?
Right? Is that right? Let's see. No, this is strategic plan prompt.
Yeah, as in, I get the impression from the description that it's to set up your building plan, let's say.
The initial building blocks, basically.
Yeah.
Do you know if you can have both Gemini and Claude in the same terminal?
Yeah, we can.
Oh, cool. Okay, all right.
Not in the same terminal, because in a terminal you can run once a command, so you can open two terminals like here.
Okay.
With a
all right.
project, you can work with the two terminals, and you can use both the AI tools here. Let's try again. It's not present here. We put everything similar. Commands. Okay, let's just read again. It says it works like that. You need to create the plan.toml and Gemini command. We can also try using the similar with the terminal. Maybe I am missing some I'm doing some mistake here. Or there is also a way, I'm using this project folder to create this local command here. There's two options to create one. You can also create in the personal Gemini. So there's also Gemini folder in my root directory, which I can use this command for every projects. I kind of have built for one project and it was running there. I don't know why it's not showing right now. We'll try again. Maybe it's not syncing properly with the.
But is it a prerequisite to build up
No,
your
that's not.
custom commands, or is it just a demo?
Yeah, like it's not prerequisite. I was showing, in the Claude they provided in build. You got a button shift tab. You can shift it, but when comes to the Gemini, you can do the similar thing, but using the you can build it by a slash, create a slash command. Otherwise, when you press shift tab in the Gemini, it gives you two option only. There is a accept edits. So what? And there is a normal mode. So in the normal mode, it's going to ask every time the permission. Even a simple edit going to be asked by you. But if we go and in the accept edits mode, so it's going to ask you the permission for the most some situations, like it want to fetch the webs or something, some important request gonna be made by them to you. Otherwise, if it want to edit some file, it's going to be done by itself because you are giving it the permission. You can accept edits whenever you want. So it's kind of giving your agent the permissions, how many permission you want to give to your agent. And if you talk, there is another very important feature and very good feature we discussed in the last videos. We thought Gemini don't have, but Gemini had created one. There is a YOLO mode now in the Gemini, but not in the Claude. So if someone is very beginner, they don't want to go to set up all these, they don't want to set up all this. They just want to try Gemini, and they want to type a prompt and want to Gemini to come up with the solution by itself. Go to the rigorous debugging and then come to the solution. When code start running, provide me the solution. In that case, they have a YOLO mode. Let me find out the command. Maybe I forgot. It's like, yeah, it's control and Y. When you press control and Y, it gives you the YOLO mode. Now it's not going to ask any permission from you. It will run in a YOLO mode. It's going to try to debug the situation and come up with the solution. So it's kind of like we have seen in the cursor auto mode. We put the cursor in the auto and it's kind of start building by itself. So it's not, as in the documentation of Gemini, it's not suggested. It can be insecure, like some command, some file may be deleted by the command line you didn't want it to. So it can happens, it can delete something, or it can push in the GitHub without your permission. You don't want it to. But if you want to play in the YOLO mode, it provided you, but it's insecure. So don't use it for the production purpose, for the project you want are building for the production. But if you want to build quickly some demos, you can use this mode. We'll gonna have the demonstration how it exactly work. So let's come across take a prompt and try building that. Before that, one more important thing I think we need to know. There is an init command. Yeah, in the Claude there is an init command. So what Claude gonna do is kind of going to create a claude.md file. It's going to understand the whole project and then going to create the claude.md file. I don't suggest it to create it right now because we don't have any file. So Claude try to understand your coding style and cannot do that. But when we create a claude.md file in your root project, what it's going to do, whenever Claude going to give any prompt, it's going to give get the context from this file and provide the LLM. So LLM gonna know, like if you are a front-end developer and you want it to use the Tailwind CSS in every project, you can write it here. So whenever you give this prompt to build something, some front end, it's going to have that idea what tech stack you want in your front end. You want the Tailwind or Slack in uh, any libraries of the front end you like most, you have experience. Because maybe in the complex project you're gonna be giving some advice or some debugging by yourself, and you need to develop in that tech stack you are comfortable with. So you can define all these rule, all this personal rule using this claude.md file. It can going to be general prompt. Whatever prompt you're going to be giving here in the command line, it's going to take the context from this file. So it's also advisable to use it very precisely for the thing you think is most general. Because if you have filled this file with so many documentation, uh, your context gonna be increase a lot. Your agent going to try to fetch information which is not needed, and it's going to be take time and also cost a lot in the Claude, if you're talking about the Claude. Okay, and now we're gonna be creating this file. As if we run this command here, it will create this file for us, but it not gonna have much to take help because we don't have any file here. In the Gemini we can do the similar thing. We can create Gemini.md file. We don't have any command here, we need to create it manually. So Claude is kind of have some improved interface, kind of provided some slash command, more slash command to help the user. Gemini don't have that much of slash command. They kind of provided you the documentation. You can create this slash command for yourself. So it's kind of, as we discussed in the cursor, there is a cursor rules we use in the projects. Like we provide some information in that rule file, and we can put in the command, or we can give the when we are doing the prompts to the agent, we can specify use this rules right now. But it's kind of going to be the general cursor rule, so we can compare with different tools right now here. So let me just I already have created a uh, file, MD file for the COTI smart contracts. Let me paste it here, then I show you. It's a MD file which tells like how the COTI smart contract kind of works. There have some privacy features. So I kind of provided some context regarding the privacy of the COTI. I simply go to the COTI documentation and ask the COTI AI to provide some information, and then I ask the ChatGPT to create an MD file for me. So it's simple MD file, you can see. And if we try to preview that, As you can see, it's a simple text explaining about the COTI and how COTI MCP work. Now if we see the Claude, it kind of says that it kind of created some general purpose MD file. We don't have any information regarding the COTI smart contract, and we in this session going to build some COTI smart contract. So what we can do, we can create similar MD file, Claude MD file similarly here. Both of them works very similar. So a kind of trying to build a system or environment which is best suited for the COTI smart contracts, and we're gonna then try some prompts here. So let's try some prompt here. So I kind of going to give a prompt here to create some private smart contract like ERC20, but here I'm not going to mention the repository link. Like in the past examples, when we try with the cursor, I kind of provided a hard hat repository, so this tool gonna have some understanding of the COTI, but I kind of given some understanding with this context file. So I'm directly going to ask it to create a private contract. I'm giving it, let's just paste it here. I am providing the information like the functionality I want here, the name and symbols I want here, and I also want ask it to explain it and make it beginner friendly. So let's just try on the Claude Code. And okay, so let's just stop this one because we already opened the terminal in the side, and currently we are in, let's just check which mode currently we are in. So I'm let's select accept edit because we don't need to plan in anything right now, or we can also check out the plan mode. So let's try to know how it's going to build a contract for us. So it's kind of different functionality, a plan mode in the Claude. So we kind of exploring here, and as you can see, it's asked us the permission to web search. So there are two type of permission we can provide. One is yes for this changes, another yes, and also don't ask similar function permission for similar functionality. I kind of going to check what permission he's asking. Is just asking for the web search, and we kind of give this permission for all the tasks. Like it's free to go on the web and search. So I'm giving it the permission. That's what I was talking about. So if we try similar prompt here in the Gemini, what functionality we have here? We have this YOLO mode on. We kind of also switch off this YOLO mode and comes to the edit option. But let's check the YOLO mode first because we have this in the Gemini, and let's try to find out if it's capable of doing a whole building with itself or not. So it's
like Google's option, I'm feeling lucky.
Except it's code, yeah.
Yeah.
So as you can see, it's kind of start building something, and it's running all the terminal command by itself, not asking the permission. And as we can compare with the last video we have done on the Gemini CLI, we need to give all the permission all the time, like we are giving it in the Claude. Claude again asks us the permission to clone, fetch this contents. To fetch the content from the COTI, it's kind of asking me the permission. I'm giving you the permission, yes, go around, and also don't ask again for the GitHub. So for the plan mode itself is going to ask so many permissions, and then going to take so much time to plan it. But we kind of utilizing it to check if it's going in the right way or not. But still we need to give so many permissions here. But in the YOLO mode, it's kind of working by its own. If you see here, you can think like it's working as a cursor, and we don't need to be worry here because Gemini also provide you these free requests, so kind of going to give 1,000 requests free, so you don't need to be worry about cost here. If like Claude gonna have the YOLO mode, we need to worry about the cost because it's going to be very costly for us. So a kind of it's taken all the permissions and fetches all the data and not serializing a plan for us. But with the permission, these tools become quite slow. With the YOLO mode, tools become quite flow. Flow means fast. And as we have seen in the cursor, the main differentiation when we talk about the cursor is fast. Like if we talk to the developer, they say like cursor is fast, and that's uh, that's advantage of the cursor because if the user is talking about it, it's kind of uh, making it user friendly. So it's kind of completed the development for us, and here it's kind of building the plan till now. If we go and check the contract now, it was in the YOLO mode, it had the context, still it has created the contract of normal ERC20, which don't have any privacy feature. We asked it, so clearly we need to give some suggestion to this prompt again. So I asked for private ERC20. Check COTI. So I'm asking it like do some research because it don't have any privacy feature right now. So now Claude has provided us with the plan how it's going to be building it. It will have a contract folder and a script for the deployment and the test file. Your contract gonna have going to have use the official libraries of the COTI. It's pointed out the right library. I'm really happy here. And going to have this constructor. I asked it to make it general so anyone can use it. So it's going to have the constructor where you need to mention the name symbol and initial supply. And it also going to have the ownable functionality from the OpenJPlin. That's also good. Like it's kind of using the right libraries. And it says like it's gonna be beginner friendly. It also wants it's going to integrate the COTI's MPC library, and in the hardware configuration, it's going to provide the testnet and mainnet support, also deployment script and all. So I think it kind of right. So now I think the plan is right. I don't need to change anything in this plan. So what I can do, I can go and say yes and auto accept edit. So they are going to be, it's also asking me if you want me to start building this plan, and it kind of giving me three options. First, I gonna accept it and also put it in auto accept mode. So it's going to ask less permission to me. Then without auto accept, like it's going to ask more permission. With me, it's kind of general mode. And there is also option to I don't go with this plan and I want to change in this, make some changes in this plan. So I like this plan. I'm going to say yes. So it kind of start deploying the plan. Now let's move here. If there is changes in the contract, no, it's not. But it kind of find out the private ERC20 library. I think that with just one another prompt, it kind of find out the library, and the YOLO mod is kind of doing the pretty good job. So why I'm doing this in the YOLO mode, because that's the differentiation between the Gemini and the Claude. Otherwise Gemini is going to work similar like that. You need to give the permissions and all. And while they are developing, they both are building. I can also show you a very important feature of the Claude. It kind of have a sub agent feature, which is really like people are talking about, because in the Claude you can create two or three or a number of agent you want, which we going to be calling sub agent. And you can create this sub agent in the personal or in that project. So it kind of, you can create it as a global Claude, so you can utilize them in any project, or you can create this agent project specific. What this sub agent kind of do, they gonna work like, you can train that agent providing some context around it. Like you can create a front end agent which have the understanding, and you kind of creating the providing it the MD file. So it kind of, you going to have the your understanding, like you want tailwind CSS, you want certain libraries to use. And you kind of create another agent which is debugger agent, some agent which is a smart contract developer agent. And if you are using with multiple blockchain, you can create a specific agent for that blockchain. Like talking about the COTI, we need, our agent need to have some context regarding the privacy. So we kind of create the agent which develop only COTI smart contract. So I gonna show you like as it kind of building here. Let's just wait for its completion, because we need this, we need to put certain slash command to build the agent. But it kind of have this agent feature, which is really good. And talking about the MCP servers, they both kind of support all the servers, and they kind of have the similar settings. So it works well for both of them. And if we see the YOLO mode, kind of our contract kind of going through some hurdles. It is start building some libraries. Okay, it's kind of fetching the MPC core library here. Let's wait for that. We can also check the context left. So here Gemini Pro has utilized only 3% of the context, because it has 1 million context window, which is huge. Still, even we are using it in the YOLO mode, because when we didn't use it in the YOLO mode, we have seen in the past live stream, it kind of have used only 1% of the context window. Now it's continuously running in the YOLO mode, so context has been increased, but still it's kind of using 3% of it. And okay, so Claude has also created some code for us. Let's see what kind of created. And if we talk about the context in the utilized in the Claude till now, we can also check from here. There's another slash command. You can clear or reset this chat to remove all the contacts. You can compress the context. If you see like the context has increased a lot, like it's going to remove all the chat, it kind of going to have a going to compress the important information and build a file for that. You can change the theme, and there is a context slash command. Through that you can visualize how much context has been used till now. Let's just check to it visualize. So as you can see, it says all over it has been used 40k of tokens out of 200k tokens. So it's kind of used 20% of it. We just have run it, given it 2 commands only, and it almost utilized 20%, because it has a smaller context window, which is 200k. That's really I think that's 1/5 of the context window provided by this Gemini CLI. And
Yeah, but can we assume, given the naming is tokens in both ways, but does
I
it
think
mean it's the same efficiency we're talking about?
okay, let's just zoom in and we can see here how the context divided, where the context is divided here. So talking about it, before that I want to know, like, if we have any questions, Robert.
Oh no, I said, like, you mentioned that it's just a fraction of what Gemini would offer, but then my question would be, both are using tokens, but do they use them in the same way? As in, are they both as efficient? Is there an actual difference in the amount of produced code?
So if we try to calculate, like 3% of the million, it comes approximately like less than like 30k, 30 or 40k. So Gemini already used 30 or 40k, and here we check the Claude already used 40k. So the context size of the board, the tool, here we see the context size of the Claude is bigger than the context size of Gemini, utilized context size. Now if we check after that iteration, and in the YOLO mode, Gemini has used the 5% of it. So it's kind of use 50k of tokens right now, and here it utilized 40k. So we can see both of them are utilizing token in the same manner. But here, if you talk about the integration with the tool, so with this slash command, uh, Claude provided you the visual implication of how these context windows are using. So it's kind of break down these 40k tokens system prompts, like the prompts provided by this system. Kind of this system means the CLI tool. It kind of utilize 2.k. System tools utilize 11k, and the MCP tools we are not using right now, so it just use very less. Our messages use 24k. So the messages we have provided is using most of the token right now here. And the message I have provided a very simple prompt, which is like 4 line. But if we talk about the messages, it comprise of all the plan we have created here, and all these lines are going to be tokenized, and the size has increased up to 24.5k. So you can see visually like how your prompts are context window are used here, so you can plan according to that. Gemini don't provide any visual effect for now, but you can also see they kind of make it quick with anytime you can visualize like how much they have used. So as we can see, it kind of provided another contract. Let's just check if it's kind of using the right contract. Yeah, if we see like private ERC20 library has picked the right library, it's picked the enable contract, which is also right. And I asked for the constructor. Yeah, it kind of provided me the proper constructor, which takes name and the symbol. I also asked for the total supply, initial supply. That's missing here. But I asked for the mint and burn functionality. It's provided here. And I can't also see. Yeah, like let's just, okay, it's still running. That's happened in the YOLO mode. It's kind of still running. And we can check if it kind of created the environment file right now. Not now. Maybe the contract has not compiled yet. That's why it's kind of running. Or let's just check where it's got stuck. When it's trying to compile, it's getting error, and where this, okay. So it went, yeah, it's kind of YOLO mode. It has created so many contracts, like it kind of created a COTI token contract here, which is right, but it again goes and created a utility library with this MPC and all, kind of cloned all the libraries here provided locally, which is not needed. I don't wanted that. It created another private ERC20 contract with using that libraries and creating whole contract by itself, and it kind of stuck here to compile it. As you can see, the compilation is failing. Let's let it be. uh, let's check if it can compile this complex contract by itself or not. Otherwise it kind of have created this contract which we needed here. And before that, let's just go to the check the contract created by this Claude here. Let me just zoom out a little. And it has utilized the right libraries here, and it kind of provided over documentation. I asked it a document or comments on the functionality so that a beginner can understand. So it kind of going to be helpful for the beginner. But yeah, it's created the constructor right symbol and also initial supply. That's what I wanted. And it's kind of implemented this mint functionality here with the proper initial supply. That's good. And here we have this mint and burn functionality. And then it goes again and created burn self functionality, which was not required, and get owner functionality. I think that's already built in this library. It's kind of created another get owner functionality which was not required. But yeah, like the contract is sufficient and built completely and properly, I guess. Let's check if it's kind of compiled or not. If we try to read the documentation here,
So, Upendra, if you have to compare the tokens used between Google and Claude, and from input, from the token used and their outputs, which one do you think would results better?
so for now, the Claude is giving us the better result. Both of them have used the same token,
Hmm.
but I kind of used YOLO mod in the Gemini. So I think that's not the proper comparison if you talk about the uses of the uh, tokens, because in the YOLO mode it kind of is to keep running, and the token size increases with each iteration, with each messages, because it gives you the so many response, and it's kind of keep doing that. We already have seen this in the cursor in the auto mode. So this also shows the developer. For the beginner, if you are using the free tool, that's a good thing. But if you are using the paid tool, you are doing this in the cursor. You can see I have already shown it in the last live stream in the cursor, but you can easily see the context window increase a lot in the cursor. The context window increase, and the size goes up to 80, like 80 90%, which is huge for the 200k token. So my I was using the premium version Sonnet 4 from the cursor, and the cost increases a lot with each call, and my premium feature ended really quickly. So this is also demonstration how your context window increase with the YOLO mode. So don't use it. All the tools says that don't go for the YOLO mode. uh, Try to you know because it's not also safe, and also it's kind of quite costly. So now what we can do, we can remove this, and we can try with the normal mode with this Gemini 2. So we kind of gonna have this clear comparison. So what I gonna do, we'll leave this one and this one for now. We're gonna delete whole code. and we don't need to worry about uh, the history. Is just because we can, if we close this terminal, we are, all the history gone, because terminal have had all the history. We can save the history or export the chat, but we don't need it right now. Like for a project, we don't need to have the all the chat history of each project. If you want to transfer some project from one device to another using this, you can do that. So we're gonna, open another terminal, type Gemini, and start again. We have this gemini.md file, which is similar for the Claude. I gonna giving Claude the.
Upendra, sorry for interrupting, but by doing this code between Google, Gemini, and Claude, which one is more suitable for smart contact development?
Yeah, I think that's good question. But if you talk about the smart contract, kind of a backend part, and we don't need, a most UI integration for now here. And I think both the tool works well because both of them are a terminal based tool. Both of them provide similar functionality, like they provide similar slash commands. They kind of integrated with the uh, with your with your terminal really well, and they kind of both using the similar level of LLM model. So what comes and where we can really compare both of them is how, which model they are using. One is using Sonnet 4, another one is using the Gemini 2.5 Pro. Both of them are really good, but talking about the smart contracts, as my experience, I think like Sonnet 4 works a bit better. Not, but as we know, like all the LLM tools are, improving day by day, or the capacities of these LLM tools are increasing day by day and becoming same. But the thing is that we can compare in a way. When you are, developing a smart contract, maybe you don't need a huge context window for that case. 1 million window is not going to help you there, because the smart contract files are, a small file. And if you just want to develop the smart contract and test it out, but if you're going to involve the front end and all, then Gemini CLI is 1 million context window gonna help you a lot. So here the Gemini CLI gonna be help you. So it's kind of, it's your uses and also the LLM tool. And as the development grows, LLM tools also going to behave similar. So I think it depends on your users. Also, the pricing. Gemini provides you the free trial, so you can use Gemini free. So that's also important part. So now let's ask it to go and test it. Let me check.
And of course, anything free means you're implicitly paying with your data. But let's be fair.
So as we can see in the Gemini, our YOLO mode has used a lot of our, limits today. So it kind of says like for the pro limit, it kind of used all this. You can use the flash mode for now, because I already tested YOLO mode a lot today. So kind of Gemini is showing you the limit here. And I was discussing this happens, and you don't need to put your system in the automatic mode. And you can see the, problem here. We kind of utilize 1,000 requests of a day today with the YOLO mode. Even if you use it manually, you cannot go for the 1,000 requests a day, not possible. But this YOLO mode has utilized all the requests for, and kind of taken all my limit for now. I can go and log in with another Gmail for now and do that. But here, you can see the disadvantage of this auto mode. So, but as we can as we have seen, like it kind of have created the smart contract pretty well, but kind of stuck with the two smart contracts was not uh, which is like uh, which was unacceptable because kind of created two contract which I didn't ask. But if we see in the Claude, it kind of created the exact contract, and it kind of asking me to create the environment file and provide me the key and fund the account so I can deploy it. So let's ask it to deploy, create a account for me and void public key. And we can also study here like what else option we got here. So you have reached your daily limit pro version, automatically switching from Gemini Pro to Flash for the remaining of this session. So I can still use it for the lesser version, which is Flash. To increase your limit, upgrade to the Gemini Pro, and you can also utilize Gemini key. You can switch authentication method by typing auth. So it also giving me a kind of way I can go and authenticate with another account. But let's just try Flash for now, and let me check which mod currently I am using. Okay, Euro mode is off. Let's see, like people says like Flash is also a, a really, there's a very little bit difference between the Flash and the Pro. So I think let's check how this model of the Gemini perform. It's not creating a wallet for me. It's asking me to provide the private key. It says like it's not safe here. Go to the MetaMask and create a wallet. Okay, let's go to the MetaMask and create a wallet. Or I can utilize the private key from my previous project. My cursor provides me the private key. I can go to the cursor and
So to simplify, let's just say that I mean I have a question on if you have to highlight one strength of Google CLI and Claude Code, what would they be like in simple terms?
so as we can see, one strength of Claude Code is it's kind of really well integrated with the terminal and kind of provide more amount of slash command. Talking about the Google CLI is free, first of the most important advantage, and also it kind of provide you the feature you can create your own slash command, which is really beneficial for the advanced users.
Mm. So right now you would say that Claude is more efficient in terms of the output.
Yeah, if we
So,
can check from this demonstration, we can easily see Claude is like more efficient.
mm, makes sense. Thank you.
So it's asking again the permission. Let's check. Let me close this one first. This is Claude. It kind of stopped in between. Gemini. Try again. So here you can see it also start asking me the permission. It kind of working similar as with Claude works. It also facing some compilation error in the Claude.
Upendra, there's some new viewers right now. Where are we right now?
We are at the moment still trying to build a smart contract using Claude at the moment, and I think Google CLI is on YOLO mode.
Yeah, for the new year, if I talk about what we are doing right now, we kind of testing the two tool, the Gemini CLI as well as Claude Code, and we are trying to find out which works best for a COTI smart contract, and also what are the main features which differentiate between them, and also the cost and which you should be using when you are developing a COTI blockchain. And if you are trying to create a smart contract on the COTI blockchain, you need to set up your and create your flow. So we kind of also trying to understand all the functionality and feature of each tool, so you can set up your own flow and try your all the functionalities, which kind of going to help you in better way in your development. I thought like Claude will deploy with just a command, but it kind of failing, and it kind of fixed the compilation issue. Now it's trying to deploy, now fixing the deployment script. I hope our account have the amount. I think we have added the amount last time, so it's gonna have some funding. And let's, yes, here our Gemini is waiting. So previously we left Gemini in the YOLO mode. We didn't need to focus there. Now I need to remember like Gemini is also waiting for me to develop for that. It kind of created the similar contract, which is normally ERC20, not related to COTI blockchain.
It's a start. It's a learning virtual colleague. Sometimes needs a nod.
It's not private ERC20. Check. Let's try if it can use with a lower model, it can build private contract. With the pro model, kind of build the private contract. We just use running it in the YOLO mode. That's what it kind of created another contract. Here, if you see, says like, okay. I didn't added the private key in the environment file. My bad. I added in the example file. That was not right. Now, as I suggested it to go to the, I just said like go and check the COTI documentation. It fetches the library from there and fetched all the libraries right, and I think created the right contract. It mention you to create the virtual environment. Let's just build one. .env file. Okay, it wants me to export all these keys. I'll add it in the env file, and then I gonna be telling it like I added it in the environment file. Here we can see okay, it says like it's still not getting private key. I added it here. We're gonna provide similar key here. Added in .env file. Go and deploy contract. So it's kind of basic setup, like to utilize the libraries of COTI blockchain. We kind of have a private ERC20 library. We are utilizing it here. And we are trying to build a base, provide the proper documentation for the development. But if you want to go and create more private contracts, you can use, take these examples and feed it to your AI tools. Like you can set up all the features like that, and then you can go and start building more functionality over it. First, just create a simple contract, a simple private contract using MPC libraries. Then you can start asking your tool to build this functionality, start giving the specific functionality, so it can have some understanding of the MPC library, how it works, and then it's going to build using that. Let's see if it kind of deployed it or not. Says it still have a placeholder text. I don't know why it got stuck here. Let's just remove it, remove everything, just paste this one. Or we can add this one. Let's check if Gemini is able to do that or not. I wanted it to finish, like add it again in .env. I wanted to finish deploying fast so I can show you the sub agents, because I need a terminal for that. Otherwise, I need to create open another VS Code to do that.
I can remember you also showed the sub-agents in one of the previous streams, right? Maybe the one where we compared with cursor?
No, I think sub-agent is the new feature here for the Claude. I missed in the last live stream. That's why I wanted to explain it here.
Calvin, do you remember? I think we went into sub-agents.
Yes, I think that was one of our topic of
we
creating.
kind of discussed it, We kind of discussed in the live stream, but didn't show the show in the demo
Okay.
how we can build it. Let me check. Like there is an issue with the shaving of the file. Okay, my bad. Autosave was not on here. I removed the like my VS Code was not working properly, so I removed the VS Code and installed it again. So the setting of the autosave was not added. Let me say command S, save it again, and then added now. Let's check if it can be able to take. Says like not able to find out. There is an issue with the deployment. And let's check here what happened now. Fix the deployment file. Kind of facing some issue with the hard hat. Let's check here. It's facing issue with the RPC endpoint. Let's check if it able to find out, like it's trying to figure it out from the chain list. Otherwise, we need to provide the RPC link.
Is testnet on chain list?
Testnet. Yeah, like chain list should. Let's check like if chain list mention the COTI testnet. Yeah, we have testnet here. And if we see the RPC link, we also have this RPC link here. So it should be able to fetch. It says like the COTI testnet having the connectivity issue. Maybe the issue we face with the fixed gas fee we need to provide. I need to tell Claude like use the fixed gas fee. Sometimes it gives issue with the COTI testnet. It is asking me like we have issue with the hard hat version and you need to upgrade your local node version, and I think that's not required. It seems like Claude will be able to deploy it. Let's check. As long as kind of running and deploying it, I wanted to, have some views of you guys. What do you think? Like, if you're going to use, which tool you prefer?
Both are equally still very complicated for me to use, and it seems like it's still the next step. If I were to choose, I'd still choose Cursor, even though Gemini is free.
Yeah, like both of them are terminal based, so it's not, learning curve is steep for both of them.
Yeah, because I mean, it seems like Cursor's YOLO mode is a lot better than Gemini's at the moment.
You mean Claude in this case?
Sorry, Cursor. Like last week's.
Yeah. Ah, okay. Last week's. Yeah.
So I'm giving it prompt like use the fixed fee deployment. It says like the testnet is facing some connectivity issue.
In case you just tuned in, this is normal when you're building as a vibe coder. You run into things. And,
you have to praise the Omniziah.
Well, 9 out of 10 times it can fix itself, but you got to give it a little push.
Pray to the machine god.
We're in one of the 10 times, right?
Yeah, but Upendra will not tell us which one.
Yeah, as we find out, even if you input the same prompt the same way, sometimes it works, sometimes it just gives you it just doesn't work.
Our Gemini is kind of stuck with this substantial model. I think the Pro model is best. Plus is not doing really good. Let me, assist it with some context. Use this link. Try to fix hard hat issue. It looks determined. It wants me to, update my node version, which is not required. But it says like, I'm just an agent. You need to do this. But if we try to compare with the Cursor, like both the tools are really slow. To run a deployment scripts, this cloud is taking so much time.
I mean, it's a good thing. At least we can see where the limits are.
Yeah. We can also check, the context window, how much it increased in case of the cloud right now. So Gemini still says like you need to do that. There's no way. I even provided the the COTI hard hat GitHub to take the example from there. Like we don't require it here, but it's still like it says I strongly recommend go and upgrade your Node.js version. I think it may be the case because I already run these commands with the Gemini Pro and it worked. We are using different models and this model is not good for the coding, I think. Where if we see the Claude, it kind of compiled everything, and we are just stuck at the deployment, and everything is ready. As said, like the Sonnet 4 is so strong, we don't with the Sonnet 4 model we need very less iteration, and we can clearly see in the Claude Code demonstration we did very less iteration. We are just got stuck at the environment process, which just because I didn't save the file, which was my mistake, not of the this model. Otherwise, just take 2 or 3 iteration and kind of compile the contract, and now it's trying to deploy it. But I think it's facing some issue with the deployment. It has given us the transaction has. If we try to find out if it's present on the chain or not, okay. It says no result found. And if you compare with the cursor actually shows what happening in the background with the command line. We cannot see here if like where it got stuck. So it says like command timed out. It wants to check out the transaction hash itself. We can also check our address, wallet address, which also shows us the transactions if we were able to post any transaction today or not. So there are no any new transaction. One transaction was 5 days ago. You can check the status anytime by running this one. Transaction submitted, wallet platform. So it says like the transaction is in the mempool. It goes and run the curl command to try out the transaction hash. And it says like the transaction is in the mempool, is taking so much time for the confirmation. Maybe the issue with the fixed transaction gas I provided, it kind of provided the very less transaction gas. That's why transaction is taking so less time. Yeah, as we can see, transaction is pending here. I can ask it like try again with more gas. So that it can confirm transaction quickly. So it's just because the gas estimation was failing. It was taking so much time to respond. What I did, I asked our Claude to, go with the fixed gas. Don't try to estimate the gas. Make a transaction with the fixed gas. And Claude kind of use a very less gas. I can think that. And that's why our transaction got stuck in the blockchain.
So Claude was frugal by default.
Yeah.
I'm gonna laud it for that. Yeah.
Trying to save your money.
Yeah.
So now it's kind of, running it with a high priority. Let's see if it's able to do that. And I'm also, susceptible for that because one of my transaction is stuck there in the mempool with the same account. So it's going to have another nonce, and I think blockchain will reject that too because one of my transaction is still waiting in the mempool. Let's try again. Otherwise, we need to use another, account for that. Yeah, I think that happened again. Or another transaction goes to the blockchain mempool, and it's still now waiting for the first transaction to confirm. Then the another transaction going to happen. What we can do now, we can use another account to test it. Now I need to create another account using MetaMask only.
Do you need funding?
Let's see. I'm gonna have some. Let me see if I have some funding here or not. This account. We have some COTI here. I have updated account. Now try again with priority fee. because transaction has already left to the blockchain. And as you can see, let's just wait for some time, but I think like this time it's, yeah, now the transaction has been confirmed. So that was the issue. Due to the less fees it kind of used. We can check it on the Explorer. I opened in the wrong Explorer. Let's just, yeah, it's a contact TSN transaction successful 50 seconds ago. So as we can see, Claude was really efficient, and as every developer talk about, like you need really less iteration in when you are developing with the Claude. When you are using another tool, you need to iterate again and again. But still, Gemini CLI, provides you this free trial. Before that, let me just show you how you can create sub agents. And for that, let me just, remove this again. That is start flow. And we can also remove that file too for now. So it's a fresh start. We're gonna start the Claude. And what we're gonna do, there's a slash command. So if we compare with the Gemini, Claude kind of provide all the slash command you need. If you want to set up a new agent, you can do it with just there is a agents command. It asks you create a new agent, and it also says you, let me zoom. So for now, we don't have any agent. It says no agent found. Create a specialized sub agent that Claude can delegate to. So you kind of create a sub agent so Claude can delegate some task to that agent. Each sub agent has its own context window. That's a really important part here. So if you see like context window got start increasing a lot within a chat, but all these agents gonna have their own context window of 200K. So they kind of handle more tasks, like one of the sub agent handling front end parts, so gonna have only front end parts context window and the back end. So that's a really important part. Custom system prompt, a specific tool. So we kind of also set the permissions. So let me just quickly show you first. If we go create, so it's asking me the suggestion, like if you want to create a general agent, which kind of use for all the cloud projects. So it's going to be saved in your root directory of this system, or you can create for this project only. So I am going to create for the local project only. There are two options for manual configuration or generate a Claude. So I want Claude to help me here because I'm doing this first time. So it's kind of recommended. What we need to do, we need to just explain what are agent we want here, like what kind of agent we want here. So a kind of so one agent, if we talk about the COTI smart contract, what kind of agent we can build? We kind of create an agent which creates the smart contract, have all the understanding of private libraries of COTI. I'm gonna give here agent specialized in smart contract with integrated knowledge of COTI blockchain private. So I am just giving it this option only. So it start creating an agent for me.
So it should deduce from that it's going to need or understand variables encrypted with garbled circuits.
Yeah, I hope so. Let's see if it's like it's
Okay.
providing the detail or not. So here it kind of asking like this agent, what powers this agent gonna have? Like it will be it can access all the tools, it can only read the tools, it have the edit tools. So all the permissions it gonna have, I'm giving it all the permissions for now. And the model it's gonna use for now, I'm going with the, I want it use the best model for now, so I want it to use the Sonnet. If you give the color, so selecting the the general color, so it kind of created a agent name Solidity COTI expert, the name of my agent. It's using Sonnet model. It's going to create a local agent Solidity COTI expert.md file for me, and this is the description of the agent. Let's say enter, and as you can see it's kind of created a agent for me. So this is the file explaining all my agent information. So it don't have much information of the COTI blockchain, but it kind of mention the privacy features of the COTI blockchain. So what we can do here, we can use this agent for building the contract for now, or we can update this file. This is just an MD file. We can, in this MD file, we can also provide some snippet of the code or something. We can, it's just an MD file, we can update that. We can copy this MD file, go to the Claude browser, give this MD file and kind of update it with the COTI, updated information of the COTI blockchain. So this is the first agent we kind of created here. Let's go and try to build another agent, because we need two agents to have the clear agent understanding how they work. We go again, create the agent for this project. We want Cloud to do it that, and I want another agent. If I'm a smart contract developer, another agent should be able to test my contract and fix the major bugs in it. So another agent going to be helping me in the deployment and bug fixes, because we just want agent for now for our smart contract development. If we want a agent for the front end and all, we can create that also. We can explain it. I want a agent who use only Tailwind, or a agent who use only MetaMask for the wallet. So we can explain everything. I'm giving it the permission, and it created another agent which says smart contract expert. So another agent is a general smart contract expert in the testing and all. So as you can see, it kind of created another agent here. So for the quick test, if we go and provide a command, if we press escape here, so if we tried again giving the same prompt here, let's see. So what are we gonna see? Our general agent itself going to select the agent, right agent for me. Let's see. So we just ask it to create a smart contract, a private smart contract. As you can see, it asks Solidity COTI expert, because that was for the smart contract development on the COTI. To do that, it automatically suggested between the selected between the agents which one is going to be used. So that's what a sub agent are. So it kind of have the whole system, whole context window and all. So this is a major tool. People are start using it and trying to familiar with how can we run multiple agent with each other. But now we have this functionality with the Claude, which we don't have in the Gemini. It kind of going to work similarly, but it gonna have much understanding of the smart contract, and it kind of going to focus only on the smart contract for now. So now if we talk about like if we come to the conclusion of this live stream, sorry. So the core difference is one is free, one is paid. We have another differences, like the Claude takes less iteration. It has a powerful LLM model, but Gemini also have a powerful LLM model, Pro model, and it's free. And Claude is paid, so that's a major difference. And it also depends on your use cases. If you are using these CLI tools for demo purposes and you want to build some quick tools, you don't need much complex model and much complex functionality. So why you want to pay if you can use CLI tool for free, which can work similarly, just needs some more iteration, and you don't need to build more complex functionality. But if you want to build a smart contract which involves AMM or DeFi protocols, then I think you should use Claude, because still Claude wins when it comes to the coding. And with that, I want to pass on the mic with our co-host, and if we have any question from the audience.
Oops.
No
I don't-
questions from me. I'm good. Thank you.
Yep. I think we're all good. Yep. So thank you again, Upendra, for a very insightful session today. I hope everyone learns a lot. Of course, I do. Yeah, don't forget you can watch the replay and more content on our YouTube channel, COTI Foundation. And of course, don't forget to like and subscribe so you don't miss our future sessions. Next on the agenda would be diving into privacy on demand, powering any app with private user data on COTI via Hyperlane. What will it be? What it's all about? It's going to be interesting. Until then, stay COTI.
Stay caught.
Hey, Cotty.